Hey yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? So as memorable and as heartfelt as GT was to so many people, I feel like this is the one series that gets the least love out of all of them. Now, I'm not here to debate with you whether GT was good or not. That's not the point of this video. The point of making this video is to show you which Dragon Ball Z game is going to give you the best GT content and overall experience. Now, that's coming from a developer base game standpoint and also from a PC modded standpoint to give you the overall experience and give you the love that should have been given in general. And that game is going to be Xenoverse 2. And to step it up a notch, Xenoverse 2 revamped puts the icing on the cake for the GT experience. Now, just to speak about the base game for a minute, we didn't really get any GT at all in the original story of Xenoverse 2, but we did get them through parallel quests. Now, at first mention, these parallel quests might not sound like a lot, but they were done extremely well, especially 96 pertaining to the Shadow Dragons. Fighting Ice, Nova, and Omega Shenron all at the same time definitely was a challenge for me. I was even able to control Gogeta going up against Nova Shenron, and bro had hands. He gave me the business throughout the entire match. Like, it was a struggle trying to keep up with him and kill him, but that's what I like, right? Everyone's looking for a game that is more challenging. Now, in the DLC, we get 2 additional parallel quests pertaining to GT: Downfall of the Ultimate Saiyan and Planetary Possession. There's also a third one in here that's called Honey Down Dr. Hedo. Now, that one is more so for like Super, but it actually takes place in a GT timeline of Android 17, and is the first place where we see Hellfighter 17 introduced in this game, and I really enjoyed that one for the most part. So let's pause on parallel quests for a moment and speak about the roster. Xenoverse 2 has the most GT characters in any game that is currently on the market. Kakarot doesn't have any GT at all. And this one right here, whether it's through mods or through the base game, you're going to get the best GT character experience. And one character that's never in the game that's added anywhere is GT Goten. I don't think people really understand how important GT Goten was in the series, especially the baby arc, but he played a major role. And another character that I would love to see is GT Gohan. He might not have been that strong or really important in the series, but it's just good to have the full cast that's present there. All you have to do is change his outfit and his hair. The transformations are already there. Now, my favorite female character is Android 18. I loved her since the Buu Saga when she went up against Goten and Trunks, and here we have her in all her GT glory. I love the fact they added her. So, of course, we have our basic characters from GT, which is Kid, Goku, Pan, and Trunks, right? But I'm really big into role-playing, so I love the fact that I could download a mod for Super Saiyan 4 Gohan and Super Saiyan 4 Trunks, and I can put them in a match with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku going up against Shenron and the Ice Dragons to basically have this Super Saiyan 4 versus the Shadow Dragons. So let me tell you, when you have a complete list of Dragon Ball characters and you go into one of these parallel quests, it engulfs you in the atmosphere of what the GT series is. And this is why I can play this one like over and over again, time and time again, and it doesn't bother me. And one thing that Revamp really nails on the head, and I don't know how they really knew or even focused on this, is being able to switch characters inside of a parallel quest. That was something that I didn't understand for the love of me. We got to have one main character, 2 support characters, but you can only play with the main character instead of swapping out. So what they did on here was, if you press start, you'll be able to select different characters of who you want to play with. That keeps it from being boring and consistent, because you know, with a character, you always have the same combos, same ultimates, same supers, and this, that, and the other. So being able to use 3 characters, or if you're doing an expert mission, you can use all 6 of them. That really brings it to life like no other game that I've played, probably except for Kakarot. But as I said, they don't have a GT. Now, a while ago, I put out a video that was called 10 must-have battles for Sparking Zero. And inside of that video, it contained many GT battles, which I didn't even really think much about, but there were so many modded characters you can put into the game, you can literally make a GT series all on your own. But nonetheless, the Shadow Dragons are important, right? We don't need to just focus on the last 3, we can focus on all of them, especially like Oceanus. I think that was her name, which was the one that dealt with like the water pollution and things of that sort, if I'm correct. And that was actually an interesting battle that really challenged Goku and Pan. Like, add that one in there. Give us all the dragons instead of just the last 3. There's more than enough length to the GT series where it can be an enjoyable game. So not only characters, but you can also add your own stages. And shout out to the modders, man, who have a love for GT just like I do, if not more. Where you can add the Ruined City stage from the Super 17 arc and have Vegeta go up against 17 and act or treat him like Hellfighter 17 if you're in a role playing, or up against Super 17 for who he actually went up against. Or that memorable moment where Vegeta went back and fought Omega Shenron by himself. Now, he didn't stand much of a chance, but it was still a moment I like to recreate to extend or expand upon the battle in which the series gave us. You can even recreate the moment where Goku was going against Frieza and Cell down in hell. There's just so many options. And if you want to have Vegeta go Super Saiyan 4 in the Super 17 arc to team up with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, that's more than possible. Like, these are just the countless type of ideas or what ifs that you can create for yourself. And last but not least is the expert missions. It's the mission where it's the devil is born from the Dragon Balls, which is basically Shenron versus, 6 of your selected characters. Now, as I've stated before, the interesting part about Revamp, or one of the interesting parts, is that you get to select each one of the characters as playable characters. All you got to do is press start and then switch to whoever it is that you want to play with out of the roster of 6. This is the perfect setup to recreate that moment where it's basically the final battle before Goku does the Spirit Bomb and kill Omega Shenron. I love reenacting this. I love selecting the characters. I just love the overall experience of it all. This is why I believe that Xenoverse 2 gives you the best GT experience out of each Dragon Ball game that's on the market. You're not going to find one that matches it, whether it's through the base game, whether it's through DLCs, or whether it's through mods. Xenoverse 2 tops them all. Oh yeah, and one more thing as a bonus. I decided to do some exploration through Canton City, and I found Pan GT, which is from the base game, right? She's there originally, but Giru wasn't. I think he was an addition through the revamped version of it, and behind them was Bulla GT, which is Vegeta's second daughter. There's other things that they've added in here, and I strongly suggest that you guys go out and explore for yourself to see what has been added. Also, there's a GT version of Pan flying around in the sky where Broly used to be. I don't know what she's talking about, but maybe you guys can catch her during your exploration throughout the city. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video of this review of which one offers the best GT experience. And with that being said, it's your boy, oh no, not another reviewer, and I'm out.